Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? I'm going to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Today, we're talking about how to overcome adversity. How do you overcome adversity? And so that's the topic for the day. And man, it's just an awesome and incredible day to be able to really have my body, man, because man, just be able to go to the gym and get strong, like that's adversity. Like when I start my day, I'm in an adverse situation. So let's jump right into this. And I want to look at what this word means. What does adversity means? It was simple. It said difficulties. Difficulties. So we can say another thing. How do we address difficulties? How do we get through difficulties? How do we make the best of a situation even when it looks bad? So let's think about something. So yesterday, I watched the basketball game. I think it was the Lakers versus Dallas Mavericks, and the Lakers was getting blown out, losing by 27 points. Now, when you look at a game like that, you would first say to yourself, it's over. 27 points, they're down. It doesn't look good. But for some reason, now I'm not even playing the game, but for some reason I sat there and said, it just seemed like the Lakers were going to win the game, which it didn't even seem right. And I don't even normally watch a whole game. A lot of times I watch a part of the game, but I watched the whole game. But I said to myself, I think they're going to win the game. Which I'm sure that's what they were thinking, like, because they're playing the game. But I'm like, there's no way Dallas can keep doing this. So they was in a difficult situation. How does one see themselves through a difficult or a situation that they're unfamiliar? I was on the phone with a friend of mine just this morning. I came out of the gym. My phone rings, and it's early. Like I'm trying to get from here to there, and I knew it was going to be kind of distraction. But I said, well, he doesn't call me normally, so let me answer the phone. So I answered the phone. I'm talking to him, and we're talking about some things that we talked about before. So what I discovered in that phone call is that he wasn't in an adverse situation. He was just in a situation that required him to make a decision about something. So sometimes an adverse or difficult situation, you may not even know that you're in one, because you may be doing something and you don't even realize things are actually, you're making it harder. You're making things harder than it could be. And so he was asking me some questions about taxes, and it sounded like he's been making some mistakes on his taxes, but he's asking me questions. He asked me before. He didn't make the decision. I says, wow. Look at how long it's taking for that decision to be made. Sometimes we can put ourselves in an adverse situation, a situation that's a little bit more difficult than it should be. Imagine if you paid $10,000 more in taxes than you should have. What? Could that happen? Absolutely. But what if you didn't know? You didn't even know. That would feel difficult. That would seem wrong if it happened. But why didn't the government tell me? The government ain't going to tell you that you should save money. The government just wants you to just be blind and not do anything. But we could be in a situation that could be difficult and not know it. So as I was thinking about this topic, adversity, difficulties, Jerome comes to mind because, this is what Jerome said. He says, life mixed with difficulty is pretty much what life is all about. Little difficulty, little adversity. So yesterday when the Lakers were playing this game down by 27, it was like they down by 14 at the half, then all of a sudden take the lead, and then all of a sudden they win the game. And it's kind of like in our life, and this is the great points that we're going to make today. In our life, we're going to come up against situations. We're going to come up against resistance. We're going to come up against a difficult thing. And I'm going to tell you, so if you're someone that maybe you wanted to lose weight and it's just been hard. I remember the first time I went to lose weight, it happened fast. There was no obstruction. I remember the second time I did it. It happened a little bit faster. Well, not fast. It didn't happen as fast, but it still happened. Then I remember the third and the fourth times that I'm trying to do it. And then it was just like it kept getting harder and harder and harder until today. I don't, I'm not overweight, but I do have something right here around my waist here that I'm sitting there like, what in the world is this? It's become more difficult to lose that. Why? Here's why. A lot of times we start accepting things in our life that could be true. That could be true, not that is true, that could be true. And then what we do is we don't actually put forth enough effort. Me, Jay, you're not putting forth enough effort to get rid of the belly fat. Yeah. No, I know somebody's out there saying, well, Jay, come on, man. You don't have it. Yeah, I don't have anything. I really, if someone look at me, they probably wouldn't even see it, to be honest. They might not. Or they might. Because I'm looking down and I can squeeze that much. Can you see that? I can squeeze that much and it's just sitting there. It's like, what is that? You know what it is? It's fat. It's just fat. I know, right? And I'm playing games with myself, but you know what I decided? I said, I'm going to overcome that adverse situation. It's been difficult. It's been difficult to focus on it. Why? Because I like to eat certain foods. So I'm going to have to cut back. I'm going to have to stop. Yeah, someone's laughing. Someone's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Look, I have to stop. I have to make a change. I said, I bought some kale yesterday. I'm going to take that kale. I'm going to take that kale with some lemon, some water, a little bit of apple, and I'm going to put that into my blender. I'm going to drink that. I'm going to drink my veggies. I'm going to drink my veggies this morning. Even though it's not really adverse, but it's a situation that I still got to address. How does one, and this is one of the points I want to make, how does one address adversity? Here's how. Proverbs says it best. As iron sharpens iron, right? As iron sharpens iron, so does a man sharpens the countenance of a friend. We're going to need some people in our life to overcome adversity, guys. We're going to need people who can sharpen us. We're going to need people who can look at you and says, man, you tripping. We're going to need people in our life that says, you know what, man, you're not even serious about what you're trying to do. We need people who's also doing it, showing us. It's kind of like, well, man, I'm trying to do it and they already did it. Now I can say, well, how did you do that? And then they tell you the hard truth. Man, it was work. Man, you're going to have to put in the work. It's like you got this business and you're trying to get it off the ground, looking at the business. Man, I want to make some changes. I got to go and look at somebody. I got to go and get sharpened by somebody that's actually sharp. But imagine if you don't have anybody sharp. Everybody has nubs. And all of us has nubs, but we have nothing to sharpen with. So we all in there. We'll all be in there wondering, oh my goodness, we can't do it because our iron is not sharpening. So it says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. So that means somebody has to be sharp. Do you have any friends that's sharp? Are you talking to them? Have they done something, or can they give you some wisdom? Can they give you some wisdom that you don't have? And there's another verse here in Proverbs 27:19. And it says, as in water, face answereth to face, so the heart to a man. I'm going to read that also in the NIV, because it's a very interesting statement here. I'm going to go back to that. I just pulled up in the NIV. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. This is Proverbs 27:19. What does that mean? All right. I'm going to let you go right after this. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. All right. That means, say when you go look at water, right? You can see your face. The life that's in you reflects outward. I'm gonna say it again. The life that's in you reflects outward. So just think about iron sharpening iron. Then if I've got something good happening on the inside of me, it's going to reflect outward, which means that someone on the other side could see it, and then someone can say, "Oh my goodness, I can take that. Man, I can see something in you. Oh, that's good. Thank you for that." But what if what's coming out is not sharp? What if what's coming out is not, it's not where we would like it to be? Then that means we got to get around some other people that can help sharpen us, right? We need people in our life. We need people in our life. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. Shout out to my man, David Thomas. Was on the phone on Friday, and, just something like talking to someone that has a burning desire with you. And it was kind of like, from his iron to my iron, we kept just sharpening each other on that call for about an hour on Friday. So I just want to just say thank you to David, because look, at the end of the day, you need people in your life that can call you, that you can call, that will sharpen you, but you start reflecting something that sharpens them as well. Go check out that scripture, Proverbs 27:19 and Proverbs 27:17. Both of those scriptures will help us to overcome adversity, right? Because adversity is a difficult situation that all we have to do is face it, right? When you face a difficult situation and ask a really good question, what questions can we ask about the difficulty? You know what? If I'm not making enough money, man, how can I make more money? How can I make more money with the same effort that I'm putting in, right? Or I need to lose that weight. How can I lose the weight with the same effort that I'm putting in? Got to be putting in effort though, right? How can I strengthen my relationship with my wife, with my husband, with my kids, with not just with the same effort, because we may need to put a different effort in, but with a new mindset. How's that even possible? Can I do that? And who do I have to be? So when we ask ourselves a really good question, yes, then we can overcome whatever adversity is standing before us, guys. You can overcome adversity, even when you're 27 points down like the Lakers was yesterday. Here's the thing. They believed they could win. Their body language never changed, even though they were missing shot after shot after shot after shot. But they realized that at some point, their iron was going to get hot. Their iron got hot. They won the game. That's how you overcome adversity. Face it head on, but always believing that you can do it, right? So you can do it. Guys, this is your Monday morning motivation. Hopefully you got motivated today. Hopefully you are inspired to become more than you are. You can have, and this is what Jim Rohn said, you can have more than you got, because you become more than you are. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.